Welcome to From the Baseline with Premier Basketball Report. And we appreciate you tuning in to the episode today. And we got a good show for you today. We're going to highlight some commitments that have happened the last couple of weeks. We're going to talk a little bit of NCAA tournament, women's Final Four, and how great that was for the game and basketball and just the whole thing in general. We're going to check in with Shane Laflin. He was at the ShesBallin Extravaganza this last weekend, and so we're going to touch base with him and some players that stood out from him, and then we'll get a global update on upcoming. This next week is an exciting time in Australia with the under-18 junior championships, so we'll chat a little bit about that. So we appreciate you tuning in. Make sure and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you like the episode. Leave a comment. We'd love to get your thoughts on the episode and any ideas to make it better. So we appreciate you tuning in. But we're going to get started with some commitments, and we got a pretty good list here. We missed last week's episode, just got busy and didn't have time to do it, so unfortunately. So we're going to play a little bit of catch up here. We're going to start with 2022 Emily Chapell from Appleton East High School out of Wisconsin. She plays for Wisconsin Flight there, and she gave her commitment to Marquette. So great pickup there from Marquette. You know, really mid-majors in Wisconsin do a really good job of recruiting Wisconsin and getting some really high-level players to stay. And so that's a fantastic. Marquette's done that there. Another 2022 out of Utah, Halle Duft attends Fremont, who just competed in the Geico National Tournament. And she plays for Colorado Premier in the summer. But she gave her commitment to University of Missouri in Kansas City, the Rose there, the Kangaroos and the Roos. And so they got a commitment there. So congratulations to those. 2021, Maddie Bischoff. She's Roncalli High School. She plays for Indiana Elite Thunder. And she gave her commitment. The shooter gave her commitment this week to Ball State. And so a nice pickup there. Another shooter to their roster there in the 21 class. Another 2021 who committed is Sarah Monday. Sarah's from Munster High School out of Texas, and she plays for True Texas Hoops. And she committed to University Mary Hardin Baylor. And so a nice pickup there out of Munster. And so congrats to Sarah. 2021, Sacha Washington plays for Collins Hills High School. Club-wise, plays for FBC there out of Georgia. And she gave her commitment to Vanderbilt. So an athletic forward there for Vanderbilt. So that's a good pickup for them. Another 2021, Kisa Uruh. I hope I said that right. But she's from Dodge City High School. She plays for Wheat State Elite. And she gave her commitment to Bethany College. And so congratulations to her and her commitment there. 2022, Paulina Paris goes to Saddle River High School. Last year played club with Team Rio. This year she's going to be with New Jersey Sparks. But she gave her commitment to Penn State. So a nice point guard, lead guard there for Penn State and their pickup there with Paulina. 2022, Nicole Evenson out of Gilbert High School. She plays for Arizona Elite there with Gary Peterson and that whole crew, and she committed to Embry Riddle. So congratulations there to Nicole. 2021, Devyne Turner gave her commitment to Clayton State. She goes to Norcross High School. And also plays for FBC, so another FBC kid. So busy week for FBC. Another 2021 commitment, Kiki Hill from Rock Springs High School. She plays for Swag, and she committed to Dallas Christian College. So my alumni. So congratulations there to Kiki. 2021, Paula Ferrer. Now she's from Spain. She plays for the club out of Barcelona, the basketball club there, but she gave her a commitment to Louisiana College. So congratulations to her there out of Louisiana College. 2022, Mariah Kane gave her commitment to Radford, and Mariah attends Harrison Burroughs High School, and then she plays for Elevate Elite. And so congratulations to her on her commitment there. So a couple more here. We've got 2022, Jackie Rollins, and she goes to Mustang High School. She plays for BTR out of Oklahoma this year, and she's going to Drury University. So congratulations to her. 2022, Maria Sanchez, another player from Spain. She plays for the basketball club on the island of San Fernando. She's going to Eastern Kentucky. So congratulations to Maria. 2021, Lauren Gleason, another Bethany commit, another commit out of Dodge City High School. And she played with Western Kansas Elite. So congratulations to Lauren. 2021, Elisa Knight, out of Cedar Park High School. She committed, and Cedar Park had a great year. She had a great year there at Cedar Park this year, culminating in a state championship. And she committed to Texas Southern University. So congratulations to her. A big year for her, state tournament, commitment, all that kind of good stuff. So excited for her. 2021, Chloe Poole from Ponder High School. She gave her commitment to Oklahoma Baptist. So congratulations to her. 2022, Kiara Hansen. She committed to University of Vermont. And she goes to Issaquah High School. I tried to see that. And she plays for EBC Elite out of California, so or on the West Coast there. And so I think they're maybe out of Washington. So excited to congratulations there to Kiara. Another 2021, Madison Salone out of Marysville High School. She plays for Huntsman Elite, and she committed to Wittenberg University. So congratulations there to Madison. Out of Australia, 2022, Alana Chatfield. She's out of the Victoria area, Melbourne area, and she committed to Loyola Marymount University there and outside of LA. And so congratulations to Alana. 2022, Honesty Smith committed to University of Missouri, Kansas City. And so they had a great couple of weeks here with some good commitments there. And she plays for the Arkansas Banshees in the summer. So congratulations to her. Another one, 2021, Rachel Early. Rachel goes to Dobson High School. She's another Arizona Elite player in the summer, but she committed to Shelton State. So congratulations to Rachel. Back to the 2022 class, Carolina Lau from St. Luke's. And she plays with Exodus in the summer. She gave her commitment to Northwestern University. So another class, Northwestern out of Chicago has gone to the Northeast and got a quality player there. So congratulations to her. 2021, Jada Knight, Hoover High School, plays in the summers with Alabama Stars. And she committed to Butler Community College. And so congratulations to her. 2021, Carson Dean out of Latta High School, plays for Oklahoma PWP. She gave her commitment to Cooley College. And then 2021, Jada Heichel, out of Muskogee High School. She also plays for Oklahoma PWP, and she gave her commitment to Northeastern Oklahoma. And so quite a list there. Congratulations to everybody who gave their verbal commitment, and exciting time, and look forward to seeing you play at the next level. And so awesome for everybody else. So, just as good as all those commitments are, this past weekend, Sunday, we wrapped up the 2020-2021 women's basketball college season with the women's Final Four and San Antonio. And, throughout the tournament, there was a lot of positive things from this year's tournament. Now, the neutral site, I think, was a game changer. You saw a lot of competitive games, no home court advantage. You saw evenly mashups, and starting from the first round all the way there to the final game. I mean, there was great games in every round, and not just one. And here, people are like, well, there's no upsets. Well, there were great games, up and down. The men's tournament may have had more upsets based on rankings, but the women's game by far had more quality games throughout the whole tournament. And so shout out to all the teams, all the coaching staff, everybody who's worked so hard to get there. And for the NCAA, yes, there are some glaring disparities between the men's and women's tournament. But in a year with COVID, and a year where last year we didn't have an NCAA tournament, where you had to figure out how to house everybody in San Antonio, where you had to figure out how to keep the protocols and the safety and all that planning. I mean, hats off to the NCAA for getting that done. Is there things that need to be changed? Absolutely. Absolutely. But to be able to pull off the tournament like they did and have the quality of competition, shout out to the selection committees and their decisions on the teams to be there, and just the whole experience was off the charts. I think them getting the ESPN and the NCAA tournament, all the games were put on the ESPN network, was huge for the growth of the game. And I think you saw that in the viewership that was seen from the TV numbers and the millions of people watching the games. And so shout out to a great tournament, just awesome, and look forward to like next year and being able to have more fans and pack it out. And, I like the idea of one site. If we can't do one site, let's do sort of like the men's, where you have 4 sites for the first 2 rounds. And then once we get to Sweet 16, hey, let's bring it to one side. I think the excitement, what it brings to that city, what it brings to women's basketball, will just be really, really special and stuff. And so I know the NCAA is looking at all that stuff, but, shout out to all the teams, the NCAA, everybody who helped put it on, because it was really just a great event and stuff. And so it's super competitive, which was great. But, here's the key thing now for us, those involved in the women's game is what now? We had a great NCAA tournament, but the game and the attention can't just disappear. Our eyes need to turn to next week on April 15th, the WNBA draft. Like, that needs to be getting ratings like the NCAA tournament. When the WNBA plays, hey, if you haven't purchased a WNBA League Pass, I bought mine for the last 4 or 5 years since they started it. It's super cheap. You get majority of the games, and you're supporting women's basketball. And the more that fans of women's basketball, fans of the game of basketball, support it, the faster it'll grow. The more opportunities that women will have, the more that it will be put on TV. Those kinds of things will help. When the TV revenue goes up, then the salary cap goes up, and women will be able to make more from playing in the WNBA. And if that can happen, I think you'll see less players, Americans, who go play overseas. If they can make quality money here, just playing in the WNBA, they would love to. They would love to be able to stay here and coach and invest in the game of women's basketball. And so, as we wrapped up the college season, our attention needs to turn to the WNBA season and attend games when we can, buy the NBA pass, watch the games, talk about the games, and we'll see more interaction, WNBA players within the AAU and the grassroots side. And that's just going to help the game grow. And so, challenge everybody, hey, do your part. Don't let it stop with the NCAA tournament and the Final Four. Don't let it stop. Take that same momentum to the WNBA season and we'll for the future of the game, because we've got young ladies coming up who have a chance to be special and help grow the game even further. And so it'll be fun to watch. WNBA season, and we start looking at rosters with the draft, and tension kind of turns there. It's going to be fun to watch, and you don't want to miss out. But play your role in helping grow the game and opportunities for the future opportunities for young ladies. And so you can help with that. But hope you got to catch as many games as you can of the NCAA tournament. Catch as many games as you can at the WNBA, and it'll be fun to watch the game grow over the next couple of years. So, but hey, we're going to check in with Shane Laflin as he spent some time this past weekend down in San Antonio at the Final Four. Also spent some time down at PassthaBall's like All-American game, Who's Next game down there, which was really, really good. And then spent some time at Ray Caldwell's ShesBallin Extravaganza, which had some of the top teams in Texas all there. And so he's going to give us a quick update on what's all been going on with his basketball soul. Check out his blog if you haven't in a while. And so, hey, enjoy this update from Shane Laflin.
All right, weekly check-in after what was a fantastic Final Four weekend in San Antonio that started with the PassthaBall event where she had her All-American games, kind of a national one and a Texas one. And anybody that knows Marissa knows she did an amazing job with all the details, to the streaming, to the players, to the gear, to bringing in some WNBA players, to not just witness it, but be there to kind of mentor and be available for these players after the game. I mean, you can't say enough. Like, have you ever heard anybody say anything bad about Marissa? Like, they're just PassthaBall is where it's at. So she did a phenomenal job. I'm really proud of her, and of course we'll always support. It was really cool. Thank you for the hospitality. Met some cool people there. We're able to visit. Shout out to Prentice Beverly. We ran into him there, and then we were at Ray's event later at ShesBallin Extravaganza. So we got to chop it up with Prentice a little bit. It's always good to catch up, especially after we've been, away from, regular scheduling where you run into these people a lot. So that was cool. Had a chance to visit with Diamond DeShields there, and she shared some really interesting insights, not just on her own career, but the current state of things, watching the players play, who she thought really stood out, what about them, because once they have that pro perspective, it's just a little bit different. She talked a little bit about the transfer portal and how she thinks it's getting a little out of hand, and the guidance is less than it used to be, potentially, and maybe people are chasing things that they don't realize that aren't in their grasp. And it kind of led us to talking about the pro game and how competitive it is. And she said, I think a lot of people take that, and I'm paraphrasing, but take that opportunity for granted, and realizing how challenging it is to transition to that level and keep a job and get a job, because there aren't very many. And especially speaking of the W, 144 jobs, that's been extended just a little bit, but overseas as well in the high-paying leagues and things, and then that's a sacrifice. And just understanding this stuff's not easy. It looks great, but it's not easy. And just hearing her, and she was in San Antonio because they held a USA basketball minicamp, and she was talking about, we're talking about a star player, an all-star player, one of the best players on the planet right now, without question, right? Very talented. I think that's no secret. Talking about how bad she wants to make that team and the things she has to do to make that team. And I just asked her about kind of the way the mini camp went, what they work on, what's emphasized, and they're talking about just getting to know each other and who fits best where and in what scenario. And she talked about how roles are so important because they're trying to win. Roles are so important because they're trying to win. And then she said, I'm going to take it another level. I may be on the floor with a certain five and my role is one thing. But then another couple subs, and based on not just seniority, but the makeup of that lineup, my role may change, and I've got to excel in that. And then she took it another level and said, if I think I'm coming into these trials and I'm going to play the role that I play with Chicago in USA, I'm not going to get that job. I'm not going to get that spot. And I just thought it was so valuable because she talks about, again, for everybody's viewpoint, we're talking about a really talented player, not going to have trouble playing professionally as long as she handles her business for as long as she wants. talking about working through to the next level of her career, of her opportunities. And it's so applicable to all you young players who are working to get to the next level. And no amount of marketing, no amount of social media, no amount of whoever your agent is, whatever your contract's worth, that goes out the door when it's time to make a team or go to the next level. And so we've got pros who know that, who utilize those tools for their endorsement deals, for their likeness, those things. But they know it's not worth anything when it comes to, I want to put on the USA jersey and be one of the 12 best that's going to represent this country. Again, coming from a star. And I thought it was so helpful because I think players and maybe even more unfortunately parents are thinking the marketing, the path, the jersey guarantees me such and such. And it doesn't. It might help with opportunities. I think that's undeniable in certain places. But it sure as hell doesn't help you take it to the next level if you're not willing to assess and be humble and truly understand what it takes. And that was a big word that she said, was assess. How do I assess? And people are not assessing honestly. They're not listening to the people who have the experience, who can help. They're listening to the people who make them feel good. Well, good luck with those feelings when it's time for you to go to the next level, because those feelings won't serve you. And that's a blunt statement. It might have sounded harsh, but it doesn't when it comes down to winning. Again, I go back. She talked about roles in regards to winning. Think about that. There's levels. Not everybody's a star. Everybody can be their particular role. If you'll assess your game honestly and be with people who will challenge you. It's not about believe and this and that. The right ones will. But you've got to trust your assessment sometimes. And young players and young parents who haven't been through this before to have any experience or any hindsight, you can't possibly be able to assess it the way that people in those chairs, those shoes, those experience levels can. And that's not a knock. None of us can the first time through, but you got to figure out who you trust. It's important. Moving on. ShesBallin Extravaganza always pulls all the teams in Texas essentially to San Antonio. Ray does a great job matching everybody up. The ShesBallin crew, the SA Finest crew. We got to see a lot of levels of teams. Got to catch up with coaches, see players. Again, people you haven't seen in a while. It's always good. Felt good to be on the baselines again, you know, as things are going. Oh, apologies. Got to put on the vibrate. This has not stopped all day. I got a whole 7 minutes before it rang again. But the thing I do want to say right now is it seems as if the talent is pretty spread out across the board in the state right now. And let's be frank, as far as the eliteness that we're used to at the top, we don't have what we've become accustomed to. And there's cycles. That's not some doomsday statement. But make sure in your assessment of things you understand that when it comes to nationally and when it comes to levels of success and where those players go. We've got some imbalanced teams. I talked to several coaches after the fact. I talked to some college coaches who I think watched some of the games. We've got some imbalanced teams, and some of that's due to players and mommy and daddy saying, I want to go do my shine over here and I want it to be about me. It's leading to bad basketball because your options are limited and you've got a lot of the same player on a lot of teams. And you guys don't know how to play together because you're all the same kind of player and unfortunately approaching the game kind of in a selfish manner. And it's not helping you in your pursuit of the things you think you are pursuing. And it leads to a lack of accountability because you go to the coaches and the people who you, again, will tell you what you want to hear instead of helping you grow or have convinced you they can. but they can't help you grow without challenging you and hold you accountable and making you feel a little uncomfortable every once in a while. So think about that. Again, not an indictment. You guys haven't been through this before. But again, the emphasis has kind of become marketing and not teaching. And a lot of you guys need to be taught a lot. A lot. And it's showing up at the college level. And you want to know how the transfer portal numbers grow. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of bad recruitment, dishonesty in recruitment, not being upfront, and then players going places thinking it's going to be easy or not being prepared because you haven't been prepared. There are coaches who can get you prepared in the country, for sure in the state. It's something for you guys to think about. Couple upcoming events I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to Indy for Prime Event Midwest, our first one this year that's kind of out of our home region. Shout out to Select Events and Matt Schock and his crew for managing the logistics of that. I'm thankful I get to roll up, see players, shake hands, and watch games. So that's awesome. We shared some of the marketing efforts and some of the planning efforts, but shout out to those guys. And then Sci-Fair Invitational, Jason will be rolling through. Joey's team will be there, so obviously Joey will be there this weekend. The last thing I was going to kind of bring up was the Final Four weekend, which was, amazing. I would imagine anybody who's taking the time to watch this video, which is meaningless, right, for the most part, in comparison to the Final Four, probably watched those games. I want you to think about it. UConn, Stanford, Arizona, South Carolina. All these staffs, when they took the jobs, each of them at different times, obviously on a timeline, the programs were not what they were when they got there. And these coaches, these head coaches, these staffs grew them, built them, had a vision, stuck with it. And, 3 of the 4 have won national championships. As we saw, Arizona was a point away. I think the country, if you didn't realize it, sees that we have another star and Adia Barnes. Shout out to those guys. Due to the limited amount of fans, we got to have some really cool interactions with different people there to visit for the games and be part of it. Different things that were going on in the periphery of the Final Four, but also to be at the games. And the cool thing about it was the alumni were so proud of their schools and the connections that they've made in different classes. Stanford, you had the Aglumakes there, and you had former coaches there, Amy Tucker, Tempe Brown. Obviously, the Aglumakes ambassadors, they got interviewed. They said, it feels like we won, our sisterhood won, but we wouldn't be here without the Jane Appels and the Nicole Powells on down the line, the Kate Starbirds. They talked about that. So they all feel connected in alums, in a university, in a program. Think about how important that is, how cool that is. And, again, we still have people thinking about graphics and Instagram posts and transfers and you're missing the big picture. You're missing what's important. Arizona, Adia played there. Jason Terry was there when she played, and he was playing. He was back. He was so happy, so proud. That was awesome. The UConn contingent that was there. They had players, former players there from Gino and CD's first recruiting class. Stacey Bailey, Meg Patterson-Cuomo. Caroline Doty was there. Stephanie Dolson was there. They take a lot of pride in being a part of it. Pretty cool to go in as those coaches and create that. That's the special stuff. That's what you look for, solidarity. But also don't forget, you're there to contribute to that, to be part of something. And it's not about you. And I think a lot of people right now are going to college thinking it's going to be a perfect situation for me. There's 12 to 15 people on your team probably. You think it's perfect for all of them? It's not. I digress. Fantastic games, competitive games, down to the wire games. Congratulations to Stanford. Congratulations to Arizona. Congratulations to UConn. Congratulations to South Carolina. this was one of the best tournaments ever. And I tweeted this, I'm not a hyperbole guy, but this put it on another level. There's a lot of eyes. The marketing was great. It was all over TV, all sorts of athletes watching. And it was awesome to be at the games. And it's hard to not, to say I can't wait for next year. Can't wait for the season. Can't wait for the Final Four. And, obviously we all hope for things to be back to normal so more people can experience it. Those are my thoughts right now. Hopefully we'll check in at the beginning of next week coming off our events. Thanks for sticking with me. I know it was a little long-winded, but, it's important, I think. We have a little bit of experience. We want to share it. And there are some resources out there. We're not the only ones, but we work hard and we're pretty good at it.
Hey, thanks, Shane, for the update. And we appreciate that and all the players and everything there. Way to play well. So, hey, some news on a global front. Big week this next week. It's the Australian Under-18 Junior Championships, which is the one of my favorite events of the year. Unfortunately, with COVID and travel restrictions with international travel, I will not be able to attend in person, but I got plenty of people on the ground giving me updates and haven't quite confirmed, but word is that Basketball Australia is going to live stream all the games. And so most likely on their YouTube site. So we're excited to see that, and that'll allow, I know they're allowing limited fans there. And so that'll allow families and who can attend to still watch the games and still be involved and cheer them on. So really a great event there just for the game of basketball in Australia, and really just a great opportunity to see the future that's coming up. So if you're a college coach, hey, make sure and check that out. Hit me up if you got any questions. Updates, previews are coming out for subscribers as rosters are confirmed and all that kind of details are finalized. And so be looking out for that if you're a PBR Global or international subscriber. But big week of international basketball with Australian Junior Championships. And so look forward to watch all those athletes play and compete. And we'll see who comes out at the end. So good luck to all my coaching friends in Australia, all the players that I know down there that are playing, competing. Hey, play hard. Good luck. And we look forward to seeing you play. So, but that's our global update. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, hit the red button, subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a thumbs down if you think the episode was not very good. But we love your feedback. Appreciate you tuning in and stuff. This next week, we got a big week from a PBR standpoint. We got the Prime Event Midwest. And so we're excited about getting up there and seeing that event and seeing the top teams in the Midwest and seeing them compete. And so we're really looking forward to that event this weekend. Safe travels to all the teams that are going to be attending, and we'll follow up the event next week with a recap on the episode, and I'm sure we'll have an article and stuff out. So be looking out for that. But hey, for Premier Basketball Report, I'm Mark Williams, and we're coming to you from the baseline.